Hello guys, welcome here to Out of Turn 4. Coming up, we're going to recap the Roval. We're then going to talk about the latest racing news, which there's not much, but there's one story we do want to digest this week, at least that I've seen. So we're going to go with that story after the fun weekend at the Roval. Then we'll have our picks for Las Vegas. So that's all coming your way, but let's begin by recapping the Roval. Sam Mayer, he avoids elimination by winning at the Charlotte Roval. It is Sam Mayer's third career and third Xfinity win of the season. All came on road courses this year. Just remarkable for him, for the young driver. I'm glad to see it. He's becoming quite a road racer, and assuming that they want to keep going this direction, this would be very good for them. Or this would be very good for him if NASCAR wants to keep going in the road course direction in the future. So we shall see. So the downside of this is we have to say goodbye to 4 drivers in the playoffs. Daniel Hemrick, Parker Kligerman, Josh Berry, and Jeb Burton were all eliminated. And Jeb, no surprise. I got news for you, but man, I don't know if you saw social media, but boy, Hemrick eliminated by an inch. An inch is what separated him from advancing to the next round, and you just gotta feel for him. Ah, man. Just gotta feel for the guy. Man, that's just unbelievable. But what a race for the Xfinity guys. Cup was even more interesting. I just wish I didn't work all day and was tired after all that. AJ Allmendinger, he dominates the Cup race, and he gets the win at the Charlotte Roval. Kaulig's second Cup Series victory. His third career win, of course, all of them coming on road courses. One at the Glen, one at Indy, and now one at the Roval. Of course, this says we say goodbye in the Cup Series to Ross, Bubba, Kyle Busch, and Brad Keselowski. And oh man, I gotta tell you, Bubba, and say what you want about him, hate on him all you want, this guy is developing into a real wheelman, and he got further than a lot of people thought he was gonna go. I think that's a big thing. He got a lot further than people expected. I think he definitely perform better throughout the year, and I think that team is just getting so good. This team is getting really good, and Reddick, he's he's the top guy. There's no question there. But Bubba's improvement is gradual. It's a fair assumption. It's been gradual, but it's been showing. He was, I can tell you, I did not expect Bubba Wallace to be the fastest on the road course in practice. Would have never called it. Did not expect him to be running top 3 at one point and running competitively in the top 3. 2 things I don't think anybody could have seen coming. And he did it. Look, he's fought adversity. He had no playoff points. And somehow he stayed in the battle. And I just gotta applaud him for that. And the fact he made it through the round, that he almost made it through the round of 12 says a lot, too. Ross, disappointing. Hate to see Ross go out, but, he wasn't that strong throughout. They were either on or off. There was just no in between. And then Brad Keselowski, next closest, had some issues late, unfortunately, that kind of took him out of it. Kyle Busch, he needed to win, And frankly, when you're in a must-win situation with Kyle Busch at the Roval, I'm not taking my chances because, of course, his average finish, not that great. So he's usually not good at the Roval. So I guess we got what we expected. There's that he was going to be eliminated, barring a wild circumstance. On the bright side, though, your favorite driver beat Denny Hamlin. All of them. But I move on to racing news now. Again, not much in the racing news, and I'm shocked because this is usually the time of year where we start really confirming things across all three series, if it hasn't been confirmed yet. We can confirm, though, despite the win, it would appear that AJ Allmendinger's time in Cup is going to come to an end. He will return, it appears, to the Kaulig Racing Xfinity Series team. Of course, this comes from Sportsnot, and there's another story tied into this. But Chris Rice has said, "We love AJ. We want to win races. We haven't decided. We haven't announced anything yet." But AJ just recently stated he wants to stay in the Cup Series. But he's going to do what the team asks him to do. I've heard Ty Dillon's name floated around. Not necessarily in this article, but in other articles, I've seen Ty Dillon's name floated around, and I don't like it. Because I could tell you right now, I think who they've got I think who they've got in the Cup car right now, I think who they've got in the NASCAR Cup car in the 16, I think is the right guy. Say what you will, but he is the right guy. And if you move on from him, you are making a big mistake. In fact, it's actually shown here, too. Of course, it's heavily speculated that Ty Dillon will be out at Spire Motorsports in favor of Carson Hocevar. And that's been kind of the worst kept secret in the garage. So, but again, I just don't get it. I honestly think that AJ is the better driver. It would just appear that if that happens, that Richard Childress has Matt Kaulig by the balls, basically, at this point. Because again, look at what AJ's doing. AJ's won this team their only 2 Cup races they've ever won. Ty Dillon is a career loser. Plain and simple. He's a bum. He has no place in the NASCAR Cup Series. I'm telling you, Matt DiBenedetto deserves a ride more than this guy in the Cup Series. The only guy I can't vouch for in favor is Quinn Houff. That's about it. Other than that, everybody else deserves a ride before him. And it's only because, Grandpa is Richard Childress is why he's still in the Cup Series. So if he gets demoted in favor of Ty Dillon, I'm shaking my head at this, because it is the dumbest decision. If it is up to Kaulig, it is the dumbest decision they've ever made in terms of wanting to make progress in the Cup Series. Now, Daniel Hemrick could win races. It's possible. But you'd be going from battling in the upper 20s there, or lower 20s, battling near the teens in the owner points, to battling for the final 3. I don't think that's a direction that Kaulig wants to go, and I think the results speak for themselves with Ty Dillon. 2 years, at Legacy, 1 year at Legacy, 1 year at Spire, and he's done nothing to prove that he deserves to be in either, or he deserves it. And Kaulig Racing is a promotion from Spire as it stands right now. Of course, we know the investments. We know what Spire is doing to build up their team in the sport. We can't turn a blind eye to it. They've done an amazing job spending millions upon millions to get their team better. But right now, as things stand, Kaulig Racing is above Spire Motorsports. There's no question there. This would be a promotion, and one that Ty Dillon doesn't deserve. If anybody on that Spire team would deserve to get promoted to Kaulig, it'd be the guy in the 7. Just let that sit there for a second. But yeah, that's what I think. However, this could be the reason why. Chandler Smith is rumored to be returning to Joe Gibbs Racing starting in 2024. Now, there's one issue with that, and it's going to come with the price tag from Toyota and Joe Gibbs Racing, of course. Chandler Smith had signed a 3-year deal with Kaulig last offseason to drive the number 16 in the Xfinity Series and to, of course, do some Cup Series racing for the team. So I'm wondering if that has a little bit to do with it. Of course, again, Chandler Smith would need a buyout. I don't know why he'd want to leave. I get, Legacy's got a ride available. I get that Gibbs has rides available. Of course, they're going to lose John Hunter Nemechek and Sammy Smith, so I get it. But he's having success at Kaulig. He very well could have won 2 to 3 races going into the playoffs. This is a guy, if he stays where he's at, I think he could be in the championship 4 next year. That's how good I think Chandler Smith is. I think he should stay. That's just my opinion, but again, money talks. Like Chris Rice said, in terms of the situation. Of course, we'll follow this. This is kind of news to me. I did not expect this to come out. And we'll keep you updated as far as if Chandler stays or goes. And let's go on to the picks. Xfinity Series at Las Vegas. I'm going to pick Justin Allgaier. I think he gets the job done, locks himself into the championship 4. On the Cup side at Las Vegas, I'm going to pick Tyler Reddick. I think that team does so well on these mile and a halves, and it's similar to Kansas, the track that 2311 is just so damn good at. So I could see them getting a much-needed win and putting 2311. And of course, keep in mind, there's always a team in the round of 8 that advances from below the cut line. And I feel like if I'm looking at it right now, it's either going to be Tyler Reddick or Chris Buescher or both of them that find a way. And I could see both of them finding a way, but I think Reddick's going to be the first to punch his ticket into the championship 4. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if it is Buescher, because Ford won there last year with Logano. Wouldn't even be surprised if it's Ryan Blaney, but to just narrow it down to one, I'm picking Tyler Reddick. Thanks, guys, for watching. Tune in to No Final Bell tomorrow. Tune in to Sunday Morning Tinkle on Sunday, and we'll be back here on the show